Another episode that focuses on Lucario and Cinderace. Yay. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 48 of the Journey's anime titled The Almost Pikachu Crisis just dropped, and in this episode, it is a continuation from the previous episode where our heroes head to Unova to get Go's food prize winnings. However, Team Rocket is there and looks to be causing some shenanigans. How will it go down? Well, let's find out. This episode is a continuation from the previous episode. Our heroes are in Unova to cash in Go's winning from the food eating contest. Team Rocket are also in Unova because since they lost, they know that Ash and Go are eventually gonna be in Unova, and they have a plan to steal Pikachu. What is it this time? Well, this time, Meowth made a mechanical Pikachu that is almost exactly like Pikachu. It looks like Pikachu, it feels like Pikachu. The only thing it doesn't do like Pikachu is sound like Pikachu, as it says Hikachu instead of Pikachu. That's the one thing that Meowth said he couldn't replicate. But that's alright, maybe the kid is too dumb to notice. Ash and Go finally get to the truck where Team Rocket is, where they're selling Castelia cones. Team Rocket give Ash and Go free extra bonus toppings to keep them busy so that they can try to switch out Pikachu while they're too busy eating. Go doesn't want extra ice cream, but he will give Cinderace ice cream. Cinderace tries to share with Lucario, but Lucario has none of it, and that's going to be the main conflict throughout the episode. And I'll say it right here, but I find Cinderace's voice a bit grating. It's fine in short doses, but an entire episode of ban, ban, ban can get kind of annoying. Anyways, our heroes start eating ice cream, and how's Ash taking out of the equation so that Team Rocket have an opportunity to steal Pikachu? Go complains about Ash's hands getting sticky. Go, you're eating ice cream. Have you ever eaten ice cream? Your hand gets sticky, that's fine. You deal with it later. You don't deal with it while eating ice cream. What's wrong with you? So with Ash not there and Go really not paying attention, Team Rocket attempt to switch out Ash's Pikachu for Hikachu. However, Pikachu and Hikachu start walking out of where they were originally placed at. So now Team Rocket have to try to listen and pick out the right Pikachu in order to steal it. And I'll say this more than once in this episode, but this is pretty funny. It's done really, really well as they're trying their hardest to figure out which is Pikachu and which is the mech. Eventually, they make their move and grab one Pikachu by using this little rubbery substance that sticks to the Pokemon, and they put him on a bike and run away. And as they're doing so, Cinderace spots it and notices the Pikachu, freaks out, and goes to Lucario and says, hey, we have to chase it. As they're chasing Team Rocket, Meowth turns around and uses that same sticky substance, and it gets caught on both Cinderace and Lucario's hands. I don't know how many of y'all will know about this, but if anyone watches Naruto, it's basically like this filler episode that was in Shippuden where Naruto and Sasuke's hands get stuck together and they have to work together to beat a common foe. That's basically what happens here, but in this case I actually think it's way more funnier because the rubber, as Cinderace and Lucario are running, can stretch really high and make the Pokemon go flying. So hijinks ensues as they're able to use that flying rubbery thing to their advantage and their disadvantage to just fly around the city. I'm telling you, I'm not going to be able to really explain this episode as well as I'd like. This episode is really worth watching just because of how funny the visual gags are. They eventually do fly enough to knock Team Rocket off their balloon and grab Pikachu, or what they think is Pikachu. The thing is, the story makes it pretty clear that they didn't grab the right Pikachu, so it's not like this massive suspense throughout the episode, but that's also kind of the charm of it because you're just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop as this whole thing is going on. And there's another hilarious visual gag here where Ash and Go are like, I wonder where Cinderace and Lucario are, as we just see them flying around behind them in the background. Eventually, everyone lands, and Team Rocket and Cinderace and Lucario are facing off. Team Rocket call in their prize master and get sock and throw from them, and we have this quick battle. At first, the rubber substance, is making it so that... Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. So, throughout the entire episode, Cinderace and Lucario are fighting. Basically, Cinderace wants to go one way, Lucario wants to go the other way. That's also the main subplot of this episode. So, as they're trying to fight, the sticky rubber substance makes it so that Cinderace is trying to do one thing, Lucario is trying to do another, and they can't hit anything. Instead, when one person gets hit, both of them get hit since they're stuck together. Eventually, Cinderace, by hearing Jessie say, "Oh, look at them just idiotically spinning around and hitting themselves," figures out that spinning, hey, and spins Lucario with that. By the way, how strong is Cinderace to be able to spin Lucario? That is ridiculous. But spins Lucario, sends him flying towards Sock, and Lucario uses revenge on Sock. Then Lucario does the same to Cinderace, sends him flying across by spinning him, and Cinderace uses Blaze Kick on Throw. They finally start working together, and both of them use a combination of Aura Sphere and Pyro Ball to create this giant thing and send Team Rocket blasting off. As Team Rocket are blasting off though, they're kinda happy because they think they might have got the real Pikachu because Wobbuffet grabbed it in the middle of the battle, but then the other shoe drops, and the reaction here is mwah, A1. Honestly, the best reaction is Meowth, who's like, "Hey, look at that! I made a duplicate so good that we fell for it." Eventually, Lucario and Cinderace finally get back to Ash and Go because they're freaking out that Pikachu might have gotten stolen, only to have the other shoe drop on their side, where they realize that Pikachu's been there all along. The episode ends with Cinderace accidentally getting some cream from a donut or something like that. I don't know what it is. It looks like a donut into Lucario's face, and Lucario getting upset and chasing him. If you couldn't tell, I really did enjoy this episode, but I did have a couple of problems with it, so I'll talk about that first. Where is Greedent? That's what I want to know. Didn't Greedent win Go the competition? Why isn't it here eating with Ash and Go? Would it have made a difference if Greedent was in this episode also eating alongside Go? Story-wise, it couldn't have made a single bit of difference. They could have just had everyone else eating except for Lucario and Cinderace. Not having the Pokemon that won Go the competition be there eating makes Go look like a bad trainer. He only brought out Cinderace, that's it? And same with his other Pokemon. I need to send out a missing EPA for Sobble because Sobble's been missing from the anime for a while. Same with Ash's Dragonite. I know we saw Ash's Dragonite last episode, but Ash's Dragonite also participated in that eating contest. Ash, do you want to, bring out your Dragonite maybe? What is going on with this series not wanting to show Ash's other Pokemon? Maybe they can't get the voice actors for those episodes or something like that, because that has to be the only explanation as to why that isn't a thing here. One of the biggest things I loved about Sun and Moon is how Ash's entire team felt like a family. They were always on screen together all the time. And here, this is basically the Pikachu and Lucario show for Ash because no one else from his team shows up. Same with Go. I just don't understand the anime's reluctance to have other Pokemon on the show. It doesn't have to change the story, just have them as background set pieces. That makes the world feel richer. But yeah, that's my only biggest problem, because I actually think the rest of the episode, even though I wasn't looking forward to it, was done so well that it just kind of made me like it. First of all, like I said earlier, the show didn't try to over dramatize that, oh, Pikachu got stolen, because they showed us pretty early that Ash's Pikachu was with Ash, and that made that anticipation a different type of experience. And even though I'm sick and tired of Cinderace and Lucario being the only focus for Ash and Go, I do think the gags here are really funny here. There's a lot of good comedy here, and Pokemon can be sometimes hit and miss with comedy, but this one I think definitely hit. And this is one of the few times where Team Rocket being in a place where Ash is also makes perfect sense, because they knew where Ash was going to be, so they could prepare in advance. You're not going to hear me complain about the Prize Master again, because I've already done an entire video complaining about that, so if you want to check it out, you can click the little iCard. But besides that, man, this episode was really good. I highly recommend it. The next episode looks like Chloe is finally going to get a Pokemon other than her Yamper, and Eevee. Why do almost all the other female companions get Eevee? That's now May, Dawn, Serena, Lana, and Chloe. It'll be interesting to see what it'll do in this series, but realistically, after seeing how they gave one to Lana as basically just a promotional tool for Let's Go Eevee and nothing else, I'm not expecting much here. Still, I do think this is going to be a fun episode, so I can't wait. But anyways, that is it for my review of episode 48 of the Journeys anime. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, like, share, subscribe, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this episode. Also, follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.